Hi and Assalamualaikum. Firstly, I would like to introduce you to our group members, Nur Shakira Nabiha binti Muhammad Sazali, Nordina Aisyah binti Nordin, Shazana binti Ahmad Shofi, and Nur Farah Wahida binti Khairul Anwar. This is our topic and we are going to explain the meaning of separation of powers and explain its importance to the development of public administration in Malaysia. We also will discuss any issues of separation of power in Malaysia and provide solutions for the issues. I am Shakira and I will now explain about the meaning of separation of power. So basically, separation of power therefore refers to the division of government responsibility into distinct branches to limit any one branch of exercising the core function of another. The intent is to prevent the concentration of power and provide for checks and balance. The separation of power constitutes one of the most important principles of a contemporarily liberal democracy and the rule of law. It requires the allocation of government authority to separate institutions consisting of at least in principle separate individuals. Each institution may then serve as check on the actions of the other institution. Additionally, the term separation of power, a vertical separation of power as opposed to horizontal one, is used in the context of the division of competency between central authorities and the authorities of parts of the federal state, federalism, and in relation the phenomenon of sharing powers between state authorities and local self-government, which is known as local government. The entry will also refer to the constitution law in selected countries and end with conclusion relating to modern issues around the separation of powers doctrine.
Separation of powers between the legislative, the executive and the judiciary is used to avoid abuse of power, while also preserving the country's democratic underpinnings to ensure that checks and balance can be carried out in the country's administration. The three powers must be separated. If there is no such check and balance, something bad will continue to happen until a point is reached where a person cannot be admonished or stopped. If there is no division of powers, all three powers will be controlled by a single party. It is to avoid the tree of tyranny, where the theory of division of power or function is stated to develop and sustain leadership through freedom and despotism by dividing power to provide a check and balance between the powers.
Issue of the separation of the power. The speeches of the Chief Justice 1998 to Dr. Mahathir criticized the judiciary. The thing that were criticized was about the journalists in Time magazine expelling journalists from Malaysia. The UMNO presidential elective criticized many pending cases in court. Tun Saleh Abbas, Chief Justice, considered the allegations embarrassing for the judges. Tun Saleh Abbas wrote a letter to the YDPA about the allegation made by Tun Mahathir. Tun Mahathir held a meeting with the YDPA. During the meeting, the YDPA was offended by Tun Saleh Abbas' letter. Therefore, the YDPA asked for Tun Saleh Abbas to be removed for his post.
Hi, my name is Nordina Aisyah binti Nordin. My metric number is 2021105139. Now, I'm going to present about the solution of the issue that my friend has been presented. The first solution is the executive cannot interfere the judiciary. Tun Dr. Mahathir, who was in executive, cannot interfere the judiciary, which was Tun Saleh Abbas, who was the former Chief Justice of Malaysia. This is because judiciary is the component of Malaysia government machinery that cannot be influenced by other components which are legislative and executive. The other solution is check and balance. The Conference of Rulers need to have their own stand in authority. In this issue, the situation looks like Yang di-Pertuan Agong influenced by the executive, which was the former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir. Tun Dr. Mahathir can give advice to Yang di-Pertuan Agong, but Yang di-Pertuan Agong need to have his own authority by discussing with the Conference of Rulers regarding to the issue that happened to Tun Saleh Abbas. The last solution is the separation of power in Malaysia. The doctrine of separation of power in Malaysia seems like vague. Our separation of power should follow the same as the separation of power in United States, whereby the President only have position in executive. Meanwhile, in Malaysia, we practice the power fusion where the Prime Minister have position in executive and legislative. So that's all from me. Thank you.
That's all from us. Thank you for watching.